Our first
Okay,
one.
we're live.
And you can read this good, yeah?
Yeah, I can read that fine.
Okay, cool. I'll tilt it a little more toward you. All right. Okay. Do you want me to just start off?
Yeah.
All right. So welcome to the world of unique sports. I'm Spencer Thompson. And,
I'm James Buchanan.
Yes. And so we're just we're just making this podcast. We think there's a lot of cool sports out there that exist in the world, and a lot of people don't know a lot about these many sports. So we're just here to inform and enlighten all you 7 people who will be listening to this podcast about what kind of cool sports there are. So I'll let James introduce himself a little more in detail.
Yeah, I'm a student. I'm a nerd. I like video games. I like sports, and I think this is going to be really fun because there's a lot of athletic competitions that no one knows about, and we are going to have a good time talking about them with you.
Yeah. So to add a little context to me as well, I am Spencer, as I previously stated, and I am also a student. I'm a nerd. I wouldn't say I'm as much as a nerd as James here. He's quite the little Twitch streamer over on his accounts, and he's a little more well versed in that area. But I'd like to think I'm still a good amount of a nerd. But
a little bit.
I mean, like I can quote a lot of Marvel stuff. I'd say like I mean. I don't know what you have in the Marvel department. We haven't discussed it in great detail, and we won't here. Anyway, but yeah, and then I also am very interested in sports as well. Love it. Love the Jazz, as you might see if you're on the YouTube version of this, you can see our little background behind us. So we both like the Jazz. But
we are Jazz fans.
Yes, we are. So all you small market people out there, we got you. But
Forgot to go over our official credentials.
Yes, our very official credentials.
Credentials. I have an associate's degree. It was an associate's degree with an emphasis in business. So I will have you know that. I have completed an econometrics course. 2 of them, actually.
2? Why?
Because
just no more needed to explain.
Analytics.
Okay, yeah.
And that's it. I was top first-year sales rep one time.
Yo,
at a very small door-to-door
go.
sales job.
I mean, that still beats some of my accolades.
Yeah, of the 3, I think the 3 first-year sales reps that finished the year.
Oh, okay.
I was the top one.
Wow. You know, I wasn't even second out of the 3 sale reps that I never worked with.
There you go.
Yeah. Along my official credentials, I am 2 credits away from an associate's degree. So I'd like to think of myself as having one, but not actually. It's kind of like how I don't actually have my Eagle Scout, but it's just because I didn't do the project.
You're a Life Scout.
Yeah, I'm a Life Scout, man.
Not bad.
That's a good credential I feel like I should mention as well.
Also an Eagle Scout here.
Yeah, exactly. Almost an Eagle Scout. But I also, I've been watching NBA sports for consistently and very closely for about 3 years. So I think that's about as long as Stephen A. has been watching NBA sports, right?
I don't know how long he's been doing NBA.
Oh, okay.
Stephen A. is eternal.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't.
There's no beginning or end to that man.
That's true. I'm pretty sure like there's like a video of him in like 1960 just going like blasphemous into the. But I don't know. Stephen A is forever. But yeah, that's about. I mean, we'll update you on our credentials as we go through this podcast. But
I'll give you some more credentials.
Exactly. That's going to be like a new a little intro to our episodes. We'll have our updated credentials. So, as we said, we're going to do this just to go over some of the cool sports. It won't just be mindless chatter, as we've been doing so far. We just so no, we're just excited to go over this with you guys. We've selected some really cool sports that we're excited to go along. We're going to do 1 per episode. Pretty much how we're going to lay out is we're just going to kind of start with going over just general overview with it, some of the rules, some gameplay, and if you're on the YouTube version, we'll have some commentation on the actual videos, and then history and kind of up to date recent time stuff on it as well. So, yeah.
Cool. So today we're going to be talking about cycle ball. Now, cycle ball is pretty cool. To preface what this sport is, I'll put it in American terms. It's basically 2v2 backyard soccer on bikes without brakes in a small hockey arena. So these guys are riding bikes. They look like road bikes. They've got two handles that are about 8 inches apart, and that's so that they can just whip them around. They hit the ball with the wheel. That's how they shoot. They can't use anything else besides, they can't touch the ground. They can't walk. The goalie can block the ball with his hands, but I think from what I've seen, they use their hands just as often as they use the bike itself.
And with the goalie, I'd like to add one thing I have seen them do is that like when they do block, I think there's a rule that like you can use the bike to block it as long as you're like not using your hand. So I think you can actually put your feet on the ground and like maneuver the bike to in a blocking motion. I thought I saw one of the people do that where he just kind of like whipped it out from underneath him and tried to use the wheel to block it instead of using his hands. So I'm not going to act like that's any official thing, but it was definitely a gameplay method I was seeing when we were going over some of the research for this. Do you want to?
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of like the rules, so it's a team sport. It's played between two teams with two players on the team. The sport can be indoors or outdoors. From what we've seen, it's mostly in, but I mean, we haven't seen any like, I'm sure there's pickup cycle ball.
Pickup cycle ball.
Oh man, I can't even imagine.
With like your Huffy mountain bike.
Yeah.
From Walmart.
There's like people like just starting out. They still have the training wheels on it or something like that. So they can just up it with the oh man, that makes me happy to think about
Hitting
that.
lasers.
But yeah, so it's essentially the field is in a rectangular shape. It's about half the size of a basketball court. And the entire field or court, I guess, is surrounded by a small barrier that prevents the ball from going out of bounds. And there's goalposts at both ends, which are the same size as indoor football goalposts. So football is in like European football. And yeah, in terms of like what the floor is made out of too, it's a hardwood floor. I feel like that's worth mentioning. It's not grass. I think that's just, for the bike to be more easy to maneuver. Because I mean, like that's probably not the hardest part. Isn't making the ball go, or it's about maneuvering the bike. So that seems to be the majority of the case. And in terms of like logistics, there's two teams, two players, a goalkeeper, and an outfield player. So one person's in the goal, one person's on the outfield. I believe the goalie can enter the outfield as well, just like they can in soccer.
Yes.
I've noticed that a lot. Like in close games, they'll be like have one person like circling around, kind of trying to do it. It's a 14 by 11 meter arena. The goal size is 2 meters by 2 meters, aka close to 2 yards for all you American viewers out there. And it's played with a 7-inch ball that's about 550 grams and filled with horsehair. And how would you say that in American terms, James?
So I think we figured out that the ball is about half the size of a soccer ball and about twice as heavy as a softball. So I'm not aware of anything that we use a lot here in America that is quite like that, but it's hefty.
I mean, I suggested a bowling ball as a comparison method when we were doing this, but
It's a bit heavy.
I had to recant that statement due to stupidity.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway, essentially though, a match is played in 2 7-minute periods. Players are allowed to move the ball using the bicycle, and the player's foot can't touch the ground. So like they got to be like, if they're in like chilling in one place, they got to be like hippity hopping on their bike to like stay back. It's pretty incredible.
That would be impressive.
Well, I can't even. First off, I can barely stand just in one spot for long periods of time without like at least swaying in one direction.
I'm not good at riding a bike in the first place at all.
But can you imagine? Like you just have to just picture that for a second. You're like trying to like there's someone just kind of like waiting to do his thing, and you just got to like hop up and down on your bike just to keep your balance together. I mean, like I think that is one of the lesser like insane physical things you're doing in this sport, but like just think about that for a second, like just trying to stay in one spot on a bike without tipping over, without using your feet.
Well,
like,
I've noticed what they do. I've seen bikers do this just around town as well.
Yeah.
When they've got the really fancy shoes that kind of like hook onto their pedals.
Oh yeah, okay.
They just kind of rock back and forth. They push the gear back and forth. They go. Because on most bikes that aren't like mountain bikes, if you push backwards, you're actually pushing the wheel backwards.
Oh.
So they kind of rock back and forth to stay in place. So I've seen them do that in cycle ball a couple times. The little cycle ball I've watched.
Gotcha.
So since the match is from what we understand, now we're just a couple American dudes trying to learn about this sport. There's surprisingly little about it on the internet. It's popular in Europe. Obviously,
blasphemy.
if you're American, you've probably never heard of it.
Blasphemous that this isn't a thing in the United World.
So anyway, it appears that in the competitions, there's a lot of teams that show up. Since there's only 14 minutes of play each time, you get like a whole tournament in one day, or maybe a 2-day event. You're gonna watch, if you show up to one of these venues, you're gonna watch 12 games in a day, or something like that, depending on how big their tournament is.
Yeah.
But that's why the game is so short, and they're gonna play multiple games that day. So I think we pretty much. Is there anything else to mention about the actual play? Of the
No, I
sport?
think that about covers gameplay. I mean, like that's just I still can't get it. I mean, we'll talk more about like. Oh well, no, we were going over rules. I mean, we still have gameplay to. Well, I mean,
It's 2v2. They're on bikes.
we've covered it actually pretty well in that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just still like. I'm literally just so sad that I learned about this sport like 2 days ago. Like it's for like you. I mean, just going through all of the weird sports we've been trying to like kind of get together before we picked this one, I was just like freaking cycle ball. Like what?
The only reason I've ever seen it is because of those weird Sports Center highlights they do.
We love those.
And we've had a lot ever since the Rona hit. We've had a lot of weird Sports Center highlights.
Yeah.
We're just getting all sorts of stuff because there wasn't sports. There was like 5 months where we just didn't have any sports.
We didn't have anything. Yeah, so they were grasping at straws over there on Sports Center.
They were posting cycle ball, and that's where I saw it, and I was fascinated.
So yeah, no, just I mean, I'm not. If there's one good thing that came from the midst of this virus, it was the realization of cycle ball. Anyway, okay. Absolutely. Well, just count that in your blessings. All right, so we wanted to go over some of the history and notable players of this. I'll let James kick it off.
Okay, so we have here the sport was introduced in 1893. I don't have any pictures. My question is if when they introduced it, they were using those giant
That's
bikes
exactly what I was thinking.
with the
I was
huge
like,
wheel and the tiny wheel in the back.
wait, okay, 1 second. You keep talking. I'm gonna check like a bike in 1893.
Check it out.
Okay, keep talking.
So anyway, I don't have my facts up anymore.
Oh shoot, yeah, I'll
can you like dual screen them?
yes I can, absolutely.
Anyway, so 1893 by the Posposi brothers. Oh no, by a Swiss American actually, Edward Kaufmann. He's the first cycle ball player. It looks like they first made it popular in Austria, Belgium, and the Czech Republic, and then other European countries and Japan. That's still where it's popular today. It's just never really been played or introduced here in the U.S. So that's where it's at. We do have a picture here.
Oh man,
Is that like the first one?
this is the 1893 bicycle. This is not the first bicycle. Well, maybe.
I mean the first cycle ball.
Yeah,
it's a normal bike.
It's you know, like those like college students you see riding around on like bikes with no gears, and they're like usually like some really eccentric color. They're like turquoise or pink or something like that. It's pretty much one of those.
Which is kind of what they use today in cycle ball.
Yeah, I mean it's not. So I guess I was kind of hoping. I would just love the thought of just some dude on one of those massive bikes, just honing fools in cycle ball.
Those are insane.
That would have made, you know what, it's still a cool sport, I suppose, even though they weren't using big wheels. Where'd you kind of get to?
I'll hit the Czechoslovakian brothers.
Okay, yeah. So essentially, the two most successful people ever.
LeBron and MJ, if they
like-
were on a team.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, like I mean, like to give it into perspective, like no, these guys were like the people of this, and it was the I think you said the Pospisil, I think. I'm sure there's some sort of accent.
They're Czech.
It's their they're Czechoslovakian, and they get a load of this. Okay, they have won the world. First of all, there's a world championship for this, and it's like I said, we'll show you some videos, but like it is like filled. Like these arenas, like people are very, very into this. I think have we mentioned kind of like what countries they're popular in? Like yeah. So like I mean enough people in Europe and like different Asian countries like are very invested in this sport.
I will interject something. The way that these World Cup tournaments work is somewhat similar. They have like exhibition matches whenever, but they're somewhat similar to how like a soccer World Cup would work.
Oh,
that
okay.
each company submits their team, except each country.
Yeah.
Sorry, each country is submitting their team, except that each country is entering normally between 1 and 3 teams.
Oh, okay. So wait, is it, if you don't mind me asking, I don't know if you know this, is it kind of like, so I wish I knew a little more how the World Cup worked. Is it single elimination, or is it more like just like the Premier League, where you just like have a certain amount of points scored, and the amount of points you have can like keep you out of relegation and stuff like that?
I do think this differs in that. I mean, the way that teams are entered. The World Cup, the Soccer World Cup, you have your pool play, and you get pooled with 4 teams.
Oh, okay.
There's like the ranking system. It's like the good team, decent team, not as good team, poor team. It's
kind of like a seeding
and
system
They
a
all
little
play
bit.
each other.
Oh, okay.
The bottom 2 are eliminated. Top 2 move on to the
Gotcha.
actual single elimination.
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Yeah.
that's kinda cool.
Correct me, send me a message if I'm wrong on that, but that's about how it works. This is a little bit different. I think it's more of like a single, might be double elimination.
Yeah.
I was surprised at how little info I could find on how those actually work.
And like, I will say this, if there's anyone who knows anything about this sport, do not hesitate to send us anything we messed up on, because I genuinely want to like know more about this sport. But anyway, essentially though, these guys, the Pospisil brothers, they won.
The P brothers.
The P brothers, yeah. We'll just call them the P brothers for now, because that's a hard name. Anyway, the legends, the legendary P brothers. They have won 20 world championships in this. Okay, 20, one each year, and it just, to give perspective, this is like they were born in like 1942 and 1945, and they won their like championship, their first one, in 1964. And they won their last championship when they were in their 40s. So like that means they were like up there in like,
so in the 80s.
That was like the 80s was their last championship. They were just owning this sport for like 20 years. And here's the thing, like I said, this isn't some like back alley. People went to this stuff. So like they were just riding out like for when this was kind of first getting on like I think a national level till like the 80s. And they were just like, can you imagine just like going up against this dynasty? Let's say that you're on like their 19th year, right? You're on like their 19th year of them winning. Like they've won 19 championships, and you're like some like new team that like you've played for like 2 years, and you're like in your 20s or something like that, and you're just put up against these like titans of this game. Like I just don't understand how intimidating that might be. Like if you're like in this sport and you're going against like these two dudes that have won 19 world championships at this point. And they're in their 40s too. Keep that in mind.
I do have some stuff here. I'm just going to pull it up real quick on this website. These are the legends. There's a picture of them. Yeah, they look like brothers.
Is that their coach in the middle right there?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Here they are, the legends. This is from, I don't know what year that picture's from. I won't explore it too much, but that's them.
I mean, look. Okay,
Oh, look at that!
Just
look how old they look in this picture.
Picture, like I said, you're like in your mid 20s or something like that, or let's be like pessimistic and say you're in your 30s, right? Your early 30s, and you pull up to like the Thunderdome that they do this thing in, and you pull up and you just heard about these two pops. Let's say for some reason you haven't seen these people before, and you just show up, and it's these two like. These two dudes, they look like they just got done with like their barbecue, and they're just coming in to play
bingo
some
club,
the
dude.
yeah,
These are
even,
bingo
yeah,
club
like
guys.
this, like, and they're like in their matching tracksuits, and you're just like, these guys are like the 19-time world championships in this sport that I've been playing for who knows how long now.
Look at these legends.
And not only that, not only do you come in seeing these people, and you're just like, wow, they look like my Uncle Ernie. And then you get in there and they just whoop you. Like they just come in here and you're just like, how are these dudes so like big deal? And they're just coming in, just like cutting shots off of you. I just can't even imagine like the exasperation of like looking your partner in the eyes and you're just like, how the literal heck are these people just owning us? Yeah, these two dudes were like the guys for for 20 years, and like who knows how close they were to winning world championships before that 20-year streak started too,
Or
like
after.
or after. We don't really have like too much info on like when they officially retired. I mean, I have a hard time believing they didn't just retire off that last world championship. I mean,
Yeah, I
like
don't
if
know.
you're that old, I mean, I don't.
Go out on top, I guess.
I mean,
Maybe.
yeah, retire in your prime like you're M. Jordan. These guys are the Michael Jordan. They're two Michael Jordans retiring in their prime right there.
Do you think they had a baseball career?
I mean, here's the thing. What would the baseball career like to scale be to cycle ball? Like what? Like I feel like okay, what's like something that's like kind of like you need to be like athletic to do it, but like but it's not like that. Like they don't really correlate because like yeah, you think like baseball and golf, you could see like oh yeah, like those would transfer over, but like what's like something with like so like basketball,
Cycle ball to
like croquet. No.
chess. I don't know.
Chess.
Anyway,
I don't know. Either
Anyway.
way, but like, yeah, that was okay. Anyway, but so yeah, like that's just these guys were like insane, and like they well, it says like before they won their first gold championship medal, we were talking about like kind of maybe their pre like together. Gingrich, who was one of them, had already won a silver and bronze with his previous partner, who was Jaroslav Svoboda.
sorry.
Yeah,
I couldn't pronounce it better than that.
Yeah, oh man, I speak a little bit of Mandarin, like barely any. Like
This isn't Mandarin.
This is not Mandarin at all. Wait.
Gingrich and Jaroslav.
Okay,
we'll
yeah,
say.
that sounded a lot better. What do you speak? You speak a different language. You speak Spanish?
I speak Spanish.
You speak Spanish. Okay, maybe that'll come in handy actually in some of the later episodes we do. Yeah, so like no, the one of the brothers already had won a silver and a bronze on top of that. So homie was like, I'm just picturing that Michael Phelps picture where he's like holding up all of his medals. Can you imagine that like on this dude?
Legendary.
Like especially at his age, by the end of that, he can hold up all that drip.
Iconic.
Very
All the
iconic.
drip.
All the drip. And yeah, once they teamed up, they won the silver in 1964. And that was their first medal they won together. And then from then on, they went on their 20 win streak until
unreal.
until their retirement. So these guys were pretty freaking incredible.
You know who I would compare him to? Carrie Walsh and Misty May Trainer
Yeah.
of women's sand volleyball.
Well, yeah.
It's like the same
Yeah,
idea.
for sure. Like I don't know how many sand volleyball enthusiasts we have out there, but
I'm not one.
I know that they're just
Oh,
big
they're iconic.
names. Yeah, they're a group of people who just like took over a sport for like an extended period of time. And like I said, like if we're talking with any like mainstream sport listeners here, I mean, we're talking like, hey, you think like talk sports dynasties. You think like the Celtics in like the 60s and 70s were like a dynasty? These guys were like that on speed. I mean, you can't compare. I understand it's like two guys and it's not like a whole team, and I understand that the NBA is the NBA and like it has like so many change ups, new people, lots of recycling talent. But I'm not going to downplay sports like this because it's been around for so long, and
This
like
is sick.
enough people have been involved in this sport for it to be competitive, and just to think that there was someone who consistently every single year beat everyone. And the fact is, like when you have that big of a dynasty, the longer you go, the more and more people want to end your dynasty. So you have to think about the fact that there was like people who were like, okay, the frickin' P brothers.
How many careers do you think they ended?
Oh my gosh, I can't even. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like people who have like,
You're right. Who
like-
has a 20-year career? Maybe there's some guy who had like a 13-year career.
Yeah,
and he just
exactly.
never beat them.
Exactly. Like there was like some
hadn't
dude.
considered
There
that.
was some dude that probably they probably played the same people like multiple years in a row. You know, like it might have been like the whole like Warriors Cavaliers situation where they played the same team multiple times and just beat them every single time. Like I can't even imagine how like universally hated these guys were in their competition.
Icons.
Just because of how good they were, and who knows what their personalities were like. I mean, I really, that's the thing. Like, I really wish there was more info on these guys, but like, it's just it's not big enough in Western culture that we could get really like mainstream references to these people. But
No.
man, like, so freaking iconic. I just don't. It's so impressive.
Legendary.
So I'll let you take.
Oh yeah, so anyway, those are the two legends. Now, we are going to talk a little bit about recent times. Plenty of really talented players out there. We do have some video pulled up here. We're gonna try our best to commentate it as if we were professional commentators of this sport.
Wait, you're not a professional commentator?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
We're going to commentate it as professional commentators.
Okay, there you
so
go.
even if you're just listening to the podcast, no video, you'll know exactly what's going on.
Yeah, we're gonna do our we're not gonna do our best. We are going. Close your eyes and you will see what is happening on the screen.
And if you're curious, about it, come onto the YouTube, and you can watch us actually do this. So this is Germany versus Austria. Germany is the eventual winner of this. Let me. Right at this point, we are in the second half. There's only a few minutes left. Whoa! Oh, we got some catch action.
Right off the bat, homie just threw himself off of his bike to block a shot.
Wait a minute.
Whoa! What? Did you on purpose pick this time to start?
We have the Austrian.
Oh my gosh!
What a block. This Austrian goalkeeper dove off of his bike to block it to like volleyball spike the ball with his hand. That was iconic.
So like for the podcast people, like okay, so there's so it looks like there's free shots, like there's like penalty kicks in this, and so this guy, it's only like what, like probably 3 meters that they have to get between them and the goal. Like that's not far, and like homie just like think about how fast a volleyball spike is off of a serve. That is how fast the ball is going probably when these guys hit it from their wheel. Like, it's pretty insane how fast they get these balls to go. Like, they're pretty heavy and filled with some decent stuff. And, like, he got it that fast. This dude just bails off of his bike and blocks it. Just bails completely off his bike. Like, he just, like, face planted onto the ground. And on top of it, then his guy ran into another one of them as they tried to, like, recover the serve, and there was just a big tumble. It looks like they're reviewing the play for fouls. I mean, I wish I knew more about, like, what a foul constitutes in this game.
I have no idea.
I mean, I want to hear what James thinks about that, actually.
No, I have no idea. I don't know about the fouls, what goes and what doesn't go. But that was something else. We are towards the end of the game here.
Yeah. I mean, see if we can get, because we're kind of just watching, like.
We're just watching.
Here, let's get to some gameplay, because we gotta see some of this.
Skip ahead.
Okay, so someone just scored a goal. Go back. All right. Okay.
Right
okay,
here.
so here we go. So yeah, so as you can see, like we got like homie and the goalie over there. It looks like it's Austria's ball.
They're just zooming.
Yeah, it looks like they're prepping for like, because the time is not rolling right now. So
it's really fun when they shoot it because it's as if they wedge the wheel between the ground and the ball, and then they flick it.
Yeah,
it's like a wedge and flick.
A wedge and flick.
Oh, we got a penalty.
Oh
my!
Okay,
how?
So. Oh my gosh. So
we're gonna get a replay of that.
Yeah, there's two people guarding the goals here, it looks like, the penalty kicker. Like they have the goalie and then the other guy's allowed to go in. But
I think he's only allowed to go in once the ball's
made contact. Gotcha. So yeah, like that just gives perspective, like I said, like how quick that ball's moving. I mean, like, and that also confirmed my theory the other, like when we were talking about earlier, that you can like use the handlebars to just throw your bike in the front and put your feet on the ground. Wow.
So
look at that.
Austria is attempting to score. They were just trying to score from midcourt. They're passing back and forth. They're really sneaky. It's kind of fun because they've got their goalkeeper out. It looks like when they're on offense, it's the goalkeeper and the outfielder. They work together to try and score, and the other goalkeeper just stays in the goal. He's standing all the way up. You see him? Wow. So some kind of penalty kick. Austria from almost midcourt, or no, just from that penalty kick line.
Yeah.
Flicks it up, right up into the top left corner.
So
top cheddar, as they say.
That's the official term in this sport, I'd say, right? Top
cheddar.
Or was it top Swiss? Swiss. No, I mean the thing has nets. The net has holes. I don't know. Top Swiss. I was
just thinking because it's a European sport.
Yeah,
that's why you got me. I thought
that's why you
made that joke.
No, we're gonna say that's why I made that joke.
Swiss.
Top Swiss. We're gonna say that's why I did that because that's a lot funnier than what I actually did.
Super amused by that.
I'm glad. I hope our listeners were as well. But yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it looks like there was an out of bounds. Like the ball went out of bounds, like at the back next to the net, and so they're all just bunched up together.
This is unreal.
It's really similar to soccer or football, like European football. Like it seems like the out of bounds rules are pretty similar. Like if it does go out of bounds, like via the
So Germany's
the purpose
passing back
goal.
and forth, finessing.
Like, okay, they're just maneuvering. Like, if you see like Leonardo Leonardo, is that his first name?
Who?
Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm
Cristiano-
sorry.
oh,
Oh my gosh,
Ronaldo.
yeah, Ronaldo. So like, just picture like Cristiano Ronaldo, just like kind of like doing his little things where like he like kind of steps around, moves the ball back and forth, like juke people out. They do that with their wheels in this. Like they're literally like lifting their wheel over the ball, hitting it back and forth, tweaking it around, and like juking people out.
So that was big. Germany's now down 3. They were down 4. They're now down 3. They had a corner kick and assist. His buddy flicks it. Wow.
So
Flicks it from the corner up into the guy who's right in front of the goal, and he flicks it in with his.
wheel.
So I do think Germany. I thought they won this game. So
Yeah,
I'm really excited to see the next
the comeback.
how this goes down. Unless I understood wrong.
Yeah, and that corner kick too, like that.
Penalty kick scores
Yeah.
again. They're only
Score-
down 2.
Okay, yeah, I really think this is a comeback. It's Austria 8, Germany 6. That corner kick, just imagine someone doing a corner kick in a European football where he kicks it from the corner and then one of the guys like heads it in. That's essentially what they did.
That's
just with the
exactly what
tires.
they
yeah,
did.
like it's just from the corner. That's why I'm really seeing a lot of similarities to like, obviously this is like a European football based competition, but like the rules are surprisingly similar, just with like on a scaled down situation, and obviously they're on bikes. So, but whoa, someone
So
just
they
went down.
They just timed it out. They just ran out the time. I'm not sure how that works.
Oh,
But the ball was not in play. So that's game. I guess Austria did
Austria
win.
did win. Okay. Yeah. Oh man, I feel so bad for that German because this is the World Championship, huh?
I don't know how the time works then. They can just kind of time
Yeah.
it down and just wait.
Dang. Yeah, Germany's taking it pretty hard. He's on his knees on the ground. I mean,
Austria.
sorry.
Yeah.
Austria's taking it pretty hard. He's on his knees on the ground, and they got
Big
him up.
game.
But that, yeah. I mean, this is the World Championship. I hope that was like pleasing
sorry,
to
yeah.
listening to for like our online, just our podcast viewers.
It was
but
probably so bad.
I will have nightmares about what that probably sounded like. But I hope you're still getting like a worthwhile situation because this is just a genuinely incredible game. I mean, like,
Look up Cycle Ball.
It's-
if,
it's-
whoops.
well, and like I think we really need to talk about just like how I don't know if we talked enough about like how just incredibly coordinated these people must be. I mean, like, I just think about how hard. I mean, I'm like a decently sporty person. Like I played lots of sports growing up, and I play a lot of intramural and just like kind of pick up games nowadays. But like, I just it just baffles me like how much coordination these people must have. Because like even just playing a regular sport like basketball or soccer or anything like that, like I can barely just like maneuver the ball just with my hands and feet in general, just like in whatever sport we're playing. And you introduce like a third element like a bicycle.
It's next level because cycling is a sport.
Yeah.
Artistic cycling is actually also a sport. And then soccer's a sport. But what's interesting is I don't know of any other sports that really use like a tool. There's I can't remember what it's called, but then there's also lacrosse. It uses like a lacrosse stick, baseball bats, stuff like that. But this is like you're maneuvering, you're doing everything from a bicycle, but you have to have the coordination as if you were playing handball
Yeah.
or normal soccer.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Well, and like even I mean, I think about like other sports that require multiple separate, I'd say, skill sets. I mean, like there's like what's the one where you ski and shoot? It's in the Olympics, in the Winter Olympics. What's that called?
I don't remember.
I don't remember. It's a thing though, and like, yeah, like you have to know how to ski and you have to know how to shoot. But like the simple fact is that like I don't know of a lot of sports out there where you need to know how to maneuver something so perfectly. Like,
Polo.
we'll get to that. That's coming up. See, that's one we want to do soon. So that is a good comparison of one where you have to like know how to golf and maneuver a horse. It's actually that's probably the closest similarity I think we're going to find in sports, which is hilarious because they're obviously such different things. But like, no, yeah, you have to like know how to maneuver a bike at a professional level. Like you have to teach yourself so well how to maneuver this bike. And on top of it, you're manipulating something else in a very complicated and precise way.
Finesse.
Separately with the thing that you already need to know how to finesse in an extremely intricate way.
Cycle ball is finesse.
That sums it up.
And that's the T.
That is the T.
That confirmed.
That confirm. I mean, I feel really, really embarrassed if like no one else was just as psyched about this sport as I was.
I think you're pretty freaking psyched.
I am pretty freaking psyched about this. This is awesome. Like I hope this like takes off so I can continue to enjoy doing this because this is
Should
awesome.
Spencer and I try cycle ball with Huffy bikes from Walmart?
Oh man. Okay, like
with
straight up
sponsorship from viewers like you.
Yeah, like okay, if
We could try it.
the YouTube channel like at all takes off. Like I'm talking like hey, if we can get like at least like a couple thousand people. That's like ambitious but like doable.
I was thinking 10 randos.
10? You want to see 10 people will play cycle ball?
Randos.
10 randos. Oh, okay, so like not friends. Okay.
Yeah, so people
Okay.
didn't already know us.
Okay, here's the thing. If-
I'm just throwing out numbers.
I'll
I'm
do
messing
that.
around.
I will 100% do that. Okay, if we get 10 people who didn't know this channel or know us personally, like you didn't see this on Instagram, you just saw this on your For You page or like in the podcast as well. Like if we get like 10 people we don't know who followed this and listened to this consistently, we will get Huff bikes from Walmart and we will play cycle ball. I'm not going to say we're going to do it like on hard surfaces because I like the use of my my limbs and the
You've
use
already
of
had enough injuries in your life.
I've had enough injuries off of a 2-wheeled vehicle. We'll get into that another time. I've had some significant. So I'm willing to do this. Absolutely.
You know, I've never broken a bone.
This is a good time to start, man. Like what
Cycle ball?
dude.
In the parking lot?
Not in
No
the parking.
better-
Okay,
oh,
yeah. That's no. Oh, dude, yeah.
I was messing around. I don't
He's
actually
messing
want
around.
to do it in the parking
No.
lot.
We'll do it. We'll do it on like the practice field on the university that we are currently going to.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah, so we'll do it there, and we'll get some film going on that. Yeah, 100% I'll do that. That'll be entertaining as frick. I mean, we can have like 2 people like be the goalies. We'll just be the outfielders. Like we can get.
We could have someone just stand.
Well, heck, we could even get like my wife and your girlfriend
That would work.
to go to be the goalies for us. I mean, like. I was about to like, oh, can they like? Do you think they'll like be into that? But at the same time, like, there's no way we're at all going to be able to get it to the velocity that these guys can get it to.
Here's the thing: if you or I get hurt, that's one thing. I don't want to be responsible for anyone else's
no.
injuries.
So like, I mean, like, yeah, like
cycle
there's
ball's scary, man.
yeah, cycle. So we're not. We'll just have like our significant others just like at the end, and like I said, there's no way we're gonna be able to get this thing moving more than like 2 miles per hour. So like, I think that'll be okay. And like, obviously, we're not gonna be able to do it without touching our feet to the
Ghetto
ground.
American cycle ball.
Pick up cycle ball.
Pick up cycle ball.
There's some pretty ghetto styles of basketball out there. I mean,
We could play it on the turf.
we could.
If the university
How mad
let
would
us.
SUU be? Well, they're not paying attention right now.
They
They're
won't
not.
care.
They won't care. What are
No,
they?
no.
What are they doing on the turf right now? Not much is
No
the
football.
answer. Are we not this year?
They said they were going to reassess in the spring.
So no then.
Oh,
Well,
probably
I mean,
not.
it's a
the,
fall
the
sport.
Big Sky Conference.
Big Sky. They're. I mean, have you heard of the SEC? We're better than them.
Big Sky Conference.
Big Sky
baby.
Conference. Like, and here's the thing. Like, you know how you know that big is in the name. Does SEC have the word big in their conference name?
Only Southeast.
Didn't think so. Southeast.
Southeast Conference.
Oh yeah.
Big
Wait,
Sky,
Big Sky
Conference.
Conference.
Who's in this?
that?
It's us and Weber State and
Let's see.
a few other
Ooh,
randos.
Idaho State's in
Yes,
there.
yeah, we got
I
Idaho.
forgot Idaho State.
Idaho State.
The Idaho State Tigers
out of
are in there.
Pocatello. Anyway,
I just do
I
Pocatello.
digress. But
Yeah.
Portland State.
Oh yeah, we do have Portland State. Wait, is Dixie? Dixie's not in the Big Sky, are they?
No.
No. And then we have NAU too, GCU,
Yeah,
Northern Colorado.
it's fun
Yeah,
stuff.
that's pretty good too. If you didn't get by context, we attend Southern Utah University, down in Cedar City, Utah. It's very southern Utah. It's right. Like you can drive like an hour and be outside. You can be in Arizona, and we're really close to Las Vegas and stuff
Overshadowed by St. George, but
like that. Yeah, St. George.
almost as cool.
Yeah, I mean, I like it a little. St. George is too hot, man. It's like you drive 45 minutes to get to St. George, and there's a significant it's like California climate
20 degrees.
in St. George, and it's like regular just like mountain snow climate up here. They have palm trees. It doesn't snow down there.
If it's
kinda
40
crazy.
here, it's 60 there. So
It's pretty incredible. It's a good
nice.
time. Yeah, it's nice to have that as a resource. But we're getting on a tangent. This is about cycle ball.
tangent. We can
mean-
get rid of that. We don't have to. we can do
Well,
whatever.
it's a podcast. I mean, this is clearly our first episode. and we're kind of just getting a feel for this. Like I think what most people, if they've listened to this point, they at least somewhat want to hear about what
Bless
the heck
your
we're
soul.
doing. Bless your soul, honestly.
If you've listened to this
I
point.
mean, there will, man, I'm wondering if we'll even get anyone listening to this, like this episode, which is, oh man, I should have thought about that before we picked such a dope sport to be for our first episode. But maybe people will I don't know about
we
you.
can always revisit it.
That's true. Like, I don't know about you, but like when I've started listening to podcasts, like there's usually like a whole season of them before I even start from the first one. So if we can even get anyone listening I would absolutely love that. And like, this is a reasonably short podcast for how long.
For kicks and giggles, 40 minutes.
40 minutes. I mean, that's like, I think what was the average podcast length? Like an hour, right?
Ish, I don't know.
I mean, but like, I feel like most notable ones are a lot longer. Then again, most notable ones are notable and can do that at that extent. But
Right, you are, sir.
what do I know? Not much.
Well, is that it?
Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps it up. I think we're gonna be putting together some social media stuff for this. Obviously this is gonna be uploaded to YouTube. It'll just be like the world of the world of unique sports.
Yes.
Will be our YouTube. Spencer Thompson and James. Can I say your last name?
Yeah, Buchanan.
And James Buchanan. We can talk about it.
I was like, did you forget my name?
No, I know your last name. I just wanted to make sure you were
I'm your
okay with me
roommate,
putting
bro.
Yeah. But yeah, so like Spencer Thompson and James Buchanan. We'll make sure it's us on there because it's a new thing and like who knows if that's like. But we're gonna have that on that, and then we're gonna have it on. This is gonna be on Spotify and on Apple Podcasts as well. Feel free. I think we're gonna have both of our individual accounts linked to that. I assume anyway. I mean, I for sure will. I'm just saying, like, if you want to like send us say you have an unique sport that you know about that you'd like to learn more about or just like have shout out, feel free to contact us via our like company page or just via our personal accounts if you can get a hold of them somehow. Because we'd love to like, yeah, sure. Like I said, we have some listed, but we'd love to like hear what you guys want to hear. And go into that more and do some research on these cool sports out there because there's just endless ones, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, we appreciate you. Thank you for listening or watching.
Yeah. Should we have like a close statement that we do for like every episode?
Amen. I don't know. We can do a close statement.
Yeah, no. And here.
Wait. Open this back
oh,
up. We can
okay.
hit remember the little thing I
shoot.
wrote?
Wait, you wrote a thing? Oh yeah.
I wrote a thing.
You did.
I wrote a thing.
You wrote. It was a great thing. Let's see here. It was.
Spencer's the voice. I'm the backbone. No, your wife will be the backbone.
Yes, absolutely.
Our
my
closing
wife.
thing. There are many interesting sports in the world, but we don't hear about many of them in the mainstream media. We seek to both inform and entertain as we explore the world of unique sports that you may not be familiar with. Signing off. I'm James.
I'm Spencer. All right, I think we're good. That went pretty good, I think, actually. Like all things considered, like
that was fun.
that I very much enjoyed.